For the rest of this year, you'll see a very active drill campaign. It'll move to the underground. There'll always be a portion of it on surface because we still want to continue to expand the known resource. But we'll get into the underground, start developing into areas that have near-term production potential, and expanding those.
Hello and welcome to the Assay TV. I am on site at 121 Mining Investment London, and I am joined by Shaun Heinrichs, President and CEO of 1911 Gold. Welcome and thank you for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me.
So can we start with a quick overview to the company and your core projects?
Sure, yeah, 1911 Gold owns the Rice Lake project. It's located roughly 3 hours north of Winnipeg, so south-central Manitoba. It's right across the border from the Red Lake camp, so we're all part of that main Birch-Uchi Greenstone belt, which extends across to the First Mining Springpole project a little bit further into Ontario. It is a fully permitted mill, underground mine, tailings facility with all the camp infrastructure as well, fully intact, well maintained. It has an existing 1.1 million ounce gold resource in place within those 3 underground mines that are currently on site. We've been undertaking a fairly aggressive drill campaign around the mine lease area over the last 6 months. We've identified a couple of new discoveries around the mine. The existing mine infrastructure, roughly 300 meters, one to the west, one to the southeast, both kind of running parallel to the mine infrastructure. As well, we've recently regained access to that underground mine as well. So we've electrified all the way down to one of the main levels, which we're planning to do underground drilling from here in the summertime. So we're moving quite aggressively along the path back into production, but with a real focus over the next 6 to 12 months around de-risking the underground, building the resource, trying to grow that to 2 million plus ounces, as well as come up with a defendable mine plan around the current infrastructure.
So let's look a little bit more into your projects then. So the True North complex is your flagship, I believe?
It is, yep, our full focus.
So can you catch us up on some of the historic and also your current work here, which you've just mentioned?
Sure, yeah, I stole my thunder, but yeah, it's a historic producer, produced over 2.3 million ounces in total. Some of that's from some satellite mines further to the southeast on the property, but the large majority of that is within the existing mine infrastructure, which we're currently actively exploring around. The mill, or the mine and the mill itself, was originally produced way back in the 1930s. In its current configuration, though, and including a lot of the underground development, a lot of that happened in the late 1990s under a company known as Ray Gold. There were a couple of other mines discovered in close proximity, known as the Hinge Mine and the Cohiba Mine, which are roughly 2 minutes and 4 minutes away from the existing mill, so very close by, on similar types of structural features. The entire mine lease area is a series of east-west shear structures intersecting a series of favorable host rocks. So actually, you get a lot of repetition of those mines, and that's where some of those discoveries came from, and also where some of the discoveries we've made more recently have occurred, is where those intersections occur.
So you've mentioned the drill program that you're currently undertaking, and you received a grant from the Manitoba Mineral Development Fund.
We did.
What is the plan moving forward here, and what can we expect from the drill program as we move ahead in the year? Yeah,
we've done almost 15,000 meters to date. Majority of that is within those 2 kind of discoveries that I mentioned. We do have a couple of other targets that we've worked up around the belt. And as you mentioned, we did recently get a grant from the Manitoba province. They usually do that twice a year. They issue a call for companies to apply for grants to support exploration and development activity within the Manitoba province. Obviously, as a company that has historically been a large employer and producer in the region, we usually don't have any issues getting their support, both from the fund itself, but also from the province as well. The plans right now is for us to complete another 15,000 meters of drilling. Most of that will be on surface. We also have earmarked about 10,000 meters of underground drilling now that we're active in the underground. We've got a number of areas, both on the 16 level, which is the main drift at depth, but there's also a couple of levels higher up that give us a great angle in terms of infilling some resource that we'll be looking to put drill pads on as well.
Great.
So that's all in the pipeline for this year.
Great. So let's talk a little bit about the Canadian election. So candidates were focused on helping the mining industry. So how do you think the results will help the industry? It's obviously much needed.
I think in general, the consensus is that Canada needs to stand on its own as an economy, and building a robust resource industry is probably a big part of that. I mean, there's the oil and gas as well as the mineral sector that needs to be supportive, and projects need to be permitted and advanced. For 1911 specifically, it's less of an issue because we are a fully permitted operation, but I think we're going to see a shortening of the time frame for projects to get permitted within Canada where it makes sense, and obviously where there's challenges, those will continue to take a long time. But I think we will see a benefit to most mining companies, particularly those that deal in the more critical metals sector. So gold will probably still have to deal with itself as usual, but I think even there you'll see a bit of a more permissiveness and a better pathway for development and into production for a lot of those projects.
So looking more into gold now, obviously we've seen it hit continuous highs this year. How has that impacted yourself and other gold companies, other gold juniors?
Yeah, I think, well, obviously it's given us all a bit of a tailwind, but for those of us that have near-term production potential, which 1911 Gold does, it's even more so. It's certainly brought a lot more attention to those companies that have the potential to take advantage of this gold market. None of us believe that it's a short-term gold market, but obviously if you're 10 years out, it's still a risk that the gold price might not be where it is today then, but obviously a lot of us think it'll be higher. For companies like us, though, that we have like an 18 months to 24 month horizon to production, it's bringing us a lot more attention. We're attracting a new group of investors to the story because companies see the opportunity to invest in something that will be directly leveraged to the gold price in a shorter term and has a capacity to generate significant amounts of cash flow, which we do.
So to wrap up then, can you share, you already have mentioned it briefly, but can you share some of the key milestones that our investors should be looking out for in the near term? Sure.
No, I mean, there's a number I actually haven't mentioned. So we're obviously, right now we're heavily into the drilling phase. We do have a group of engineers in the background, one of which we hired just a month and a half ago, but Eric Vignette as well, who's been with us for about 6 months, working hard in the background to develop a long-term mine plan for the company, as well as identify areas for potential bulk sample towards the middle of next year. So we're looking to try and accelerate those plans as well. But for the rest of this year, you'll see a very active drill campaign. It'll move to the underground. There'll always be a portion of it on surface because we still want to continue to expand the known resource. But we'll get into the underground, start developing into areas that have production, near-term production potential, and expanding those. And then towards the end of the year, we'll look to have engineering studies out, defended with the underlying scoping plan that we're putting together right now as the main part of it. Next year, you'll probably see us be more aggressive on the actual mining side, looking to do some development, looking to do that bulk sample, looking to get a preliminary feasibility out by the end of the year, with the idea that in 2027, we are talking about timeline to production.
So there's plenty to watch out for then.
Yep.
Thank you, Shaun, for joining me today, and good luck for the rest of the event.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thanks.